So I have not made a YouTube video in a hot minute, especially one where I just come and talk to you guys. So, hello. It has been quite a year. And I remember last time when I just came to sit and talk to you guys from my kitchen, my year had like crazy different plans and the things that have happened in the past 11 months. So I just kind of want to be open, real, and raw with you guys on my life and what has been going on and where the fitness has gone and what's happening. So, you guys know that this started as a YouTube cooking channel, which then slowly turned into a blog. And it was food, fitness, and beauty, which has now kind of even taken a little bit of a different path. So I'm going to take you guys back to the end of February. I was working out with a trainer. I was in the absolute best shape of my life. I was running 8-minute miles. I was placing in races. I was working out harder than I've ever worked out, mostly by myself, 2 to 3 times a month with my trainer. And I was working out really hard, and it was good for me. I was, eating what I eat now, but always on the go. Always on the go. Never saying no to anything. You guys know. Maddie never says no to anything. Well, times have changed a little bit now. The end of February, and I had just got done running and working out, and I left Sam's Club. And I was leaving Sam's Club, and I called one of my best friends, Heidi. And I told her that, I had some weird vision and that I had to leave Sam's Club. I didn't buy anything. I left. I got out of there. I chalked it up to, a hard workout and running. Thought I didn't eat enough. I had taken a decongestant that morning because I was stopped up, and I came home, but I really was not seeing very well. Long story short, that night, I was I was in the shower, my foot went numb, I kind of bit my tongue, but it was a hard workout. I was maybe I didn't drink enough water, blah, blah, blah. The next day, I think it was fine. I was fine. Fast forward a week later, I was house sitting. I dropped all my stuff off at a house that I was staying at. I was watching my sister's dog at my house. I live with my parents still. And I was watching Henry. I laid down to take a little nap. And my sister called me to tell me that she was on her way back to my parents' house. My mom was sleeping. She had worked the night before. I was laying on the couch, and my sister called, and she said, I'm on my way back home, and I cannot remember if I worked out that morning or the night before. I'm not sure. Regardless, I told her that was fine. I was just laying on the couch with Henry, and I went to get up. My vision was gone. I went to talk to Henry. It was complete gibberish. I went to reach for my phone. My right arm was completely paralyzed. I went to reach with my left hand because I have the fingerprint thing on my phone. I went to try and stand up. I fell on the couch. My right leg was completely flaccid. It took me 7 minutes to unlock my phone and to formulate a text to my sister. I tried to do voice text, and it was wah, wah, wah. That's what I sounded like. I got a text to my sister that basically was, I forget what it said. I don't even ask her because it upsets her even. I drug myself down the hallway to my mom's room, my parents' room, and I went in and was just like my one arm, and she sat up and was hysterical. She called my sister. My sister told her to call 911, that I was probably having a stroke. I was rushed to the hospital, and my sister met them there. I met the ambulance there, and they were, my NIH like stroke scale got worse in the like the trauma room. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure. I was completely coherent the whole time, but I was unable to talk. I remember them asking me, one of the paramedics was a friend that I've known for a long time, and he knew that I had lost a lot of weight. And so he said, like, did you eat today? They had checked my blood sugar, and I was trying to tell him that I had eaten a banana for breakfast. And so I said, nah. That's all I could say. And they checked my blood sugar. It was like, I think it was 68, but that's normal for me. And I wasn't able to tell them what I was allergic to as far as medicine. My sister met them there. They gave me TPA. They pretty much were 100% sure that I had had a stroke. They rushed me to the ICU. They started doing all sorts of tests. I believe it was for 2 days. They were pretty certain that I had a stroke. And I know for at least 8 hours, I was like unable to, I was starting to slowly be able to communicate, but I remember my right hand being like flaccid, or like contracted, I mean, and having a hard time moving it. And I remember laying there thinking, when they were talking and all this stuff was going on, thinking like, I remember the biggest thing I was thinking was like, I haven't got to be a mom yet. Like, please, like, just, Jesus, please get me through this. And I remember my sister saying that on her way to the hospital, she kept thinking like, Maddie has to be so scared. And obviously I was, but I knew like, no matter what, like, that God was with me, like, and like, I just knew that, like, that God was with me. So the hospital was kind of a blur, because later that night I got like this god awful headache. Like, I'm talking, could not see, like holding my ears, like thrashing back and forth headache. So they were giving me all sorts of pain medicine to try and get my headache to go away. So a couple of days later, I was still in the ICU. They were doing tons of testing. This is March 2nd. I went into the hospital. They had ruled out a stroke. They said that they did not think that I had a stroke. I had like a bunch of, my friends and everyone was so amazing. The guy I was dating at the time, like everyone was just so amazing. And they took me down and did a cerebral angiogram, where they go in through your groin and like shoot dye up into your brain to check for an AVM, which is an arterial venous malformation of like the arteries and the different things in your head. I don't know, I get into all that. But it was negative, but I reacted to the contrast dye, and that is one of the ways that they can diagnose for, it is called hemiplegic migraines. So I'm a little bit like weird about, I'll get into that in a second. So I have hemiplegic migraines. They mimic strokes. I was off work for 8 weeks while they got medicine titrated up and things. They didn't want me to drive until the medicine was at a certain level. And so this year has been kind of crazy. So I've had to figure out what triggers them. So we have come down to 3 different things that trigger my hemiplegic migraines. The first thing that triggers them is certain kinds of lighting. So when I am on the lighting in Sam's Club, I cannot go into Sam's Club. I've now been into Sam's Club and had 2 episodes. Walmart lighting, not great. Do you know what other kind of lighting? So sad. Sephora. They said that can be bad. So I do my Sephora shopping online. Lighting is like the number one thing for me. We've done all sorts of different food. I do not seem to have any. I'm very careful with my food anyways. The second thing, overheating, fitness, running, working out. That's where my fitness has been. It's been on the back burner. So I have kind of replaced, for now, fashion with fitness. And I'm really loving sharing that with all of you guys. But I don't want fitness to go away. I want to find a way to add in fitness and just maybe at a lower level. Not so, doesn't have to be so much cardio and so much sweating. And so give me grace while I figure that out. The third thing that triggers it is stress. And if you guys know, I am a hospice nurse. And hospice nurses do not just sit and hold people's hand while they pass, which also can be very stressful. Hospice nurses I work at an inpatient hospice facility. It is my heart. I love it with everything that I am. It is what I want to retire doing. I love it. I can't even say enough about how much I love being a hospice nurse. God has placed me right where I am supposed to be, and I absolutely adore it. But it's stressful. And there's a lot of times where it's stressful. And so we've tried shift changes. When I started there, I started working 3 in the afternoon to 3:30 in the morning. And my neurologist has said, no, you can't work past 11. And if you guys know me, I'm not a morning person. And my neurologist said, people with hemiplegic migraines, he doesn't have a ton of patience with it, but he said, people with hemiplegic migraines function best in the morning. And I said, well, I'm not going into work at 7 a.m. So he said, all right, you can work 3 to 11. So right before I went to California, I started working 3 in the afternoon to 11:30 at night. And that's like a really normal time for me. I don't get up before like 8 in the morning. That's just not me. So I went to 4 8-hour shifts. And within the past couple of weeks, that is too hard on me. So this past week, I had to make like one of the hardest decisions. And it's so heartbreaking to me, but I am going to go part-time. So I'm going to be working 3 8s. And I'll just work 3 to 11, and hopefully that will give my body a little bit more rest. I'm not sure why I beat myself up about it so much. I have so many friends that are part-time nurses, and it's absolutely okay. I think it's because I'm not married, and I don't have kids, and so I expect myself that I should be working millions of hours, but I know that everyone is different, and I need to just do what I'm able to do. If you're not familiar with hemiplegic migraines, the effects of each episode can be permanent. if you do not give yourself adequate rest during each episode. My last episode, I was in bed for 4 days. Of those 4 days, most of the days I was sleeping in a dark room for about 22 out of 24 hours of the day. So that is what like the chronic disorder can sometimes look like. Some of my episodes are very mild, and since March, I've only had, I think 5 episodes, and the one that I just had was one of the worst. With that being said, I know that like God is holding me right in his arms, and that is what is like so comforting to me, because little did I know, when I was off for 8 weeks, I decided to create this little blog, and I've had amazing opportunities come from that. And, it is slowly supplementing some of the income that I'm going to be missing out on when I go part-time. Like, I can't even wrap my head around how great our God is. I really can't. And I remember when I was so scared to share with you all that I had gastric bypass surgery, and I remember thinking, if it can help one person, then it's worth sharing. And that's what I thought about this. If it can help one person, and there's so many people going through chronic things every day. And that's why, maybe you don't have hemiplegic migraines. Maybe you have something else and you have to drop to part-time at your work. And so maybe you can connect on that level. Maybe you've always been so scared to like start your own little side business. Maybe you've been scared to like take that leap of faith and like start a little blog. Like, I'm sure there's people that don't want to read what I have to write, but that's fine. Keep scrolling. Maybe there's people who don't want to listen to this video. That's fine. Press pause and exit out. That's totally fine. But there's some people who want to hear it. And those are the people that I'm here for. So I just think that like if my story of my struggles can touch one person, then it makes it all worth it. So I'm like, why am I keeping this a secret anymore? And this is just who I am. So I felt that I just really wanted to share that with you guys and just be open and authentic with where I'm at in my life. I will have you know, I've not had one person ask me where the fitness is. I think y'all are loving the fashion, which I'm glad about. I'm super glad about. And I'm really, really super glad about. I want you guys to also know that this hemiplegic migraine has nothing to do with gastric bypass surgery. It has nothing to do with my weight loss. It has nothing, absolutely nothing to do with gastric bypass, weight loss surgery, anything related to that whatsoever. It is an extremely rare neurological condition in which the migraine may or may not come on after. Sometimes I don't even get a migraine. Sometimes my right side just goes numb and I'm unable to move it. Sometimes I just get weird vision changes. Also, I've never had migraines before. So I could probably count on one hand the amount of times that I've had migraines. So I think it's also like a testament of how things can just be going so great and you're just strolling along. And like, I had some people reach out to me after my last post and say like, are you okay? And I said, yeah, I want everyone to know that like things are not always perfect and cheery and good in my world either. Just because like I'm dressed up with makeup on and my hair done, like I'm not all rainbows and sunshines either. I've been through a lot this year. And I want y'all to know that, in the past 3 years, I've had a lot of things. I've lost a lot of things. first I gave up the food that I loved. And then, then I have had now fitness kind of taken away from me. Not taken away. And now I'm losing some hours at my job, but I cannot believe all the stuff I've gained. I have gained, I've gained a stronger relationship with God. I've gained my health in general back with my weight loss. I have gained my little tribe of people and friends that have supported me during all of this. I just want you all to know that no matter what you're going through, don't give up. Don't give up ever. So I'm going to do a little call to action. There's 2 things that I want you to do. Number 1, I want you to please say a little prayer for me. If you could, as I'm just entering this new season of life, if you're not a prayer, just kind of send me some well wishes in your head or whatever you'd like to do. Just kind of think of me every now and then, and you don't even have to reach out. Just kind of send me some well wishes or a little prayer. I could just use a little bit as I'm kind of going through some new seasons in my life. And number 2, share this video. I want to reach new people. I want to inspire new people. Come on, we got to finish out the year strong with the inspiring. And I want people to also have awareness that to not give up, to keep going. We are all going through something. And I just want to reach new people and just inspire other people. And I'm just really excited to try and finish out this year strong. It has been a really rough one, but we are about to start a new decade in less than 2 months. And I just think that we need to finish out this year on a good note. And as I start to kind of transition into a part-time nursing job, you guys will be seeing some more of me on here. I can probably promise you that. So if you guys made it this far, you guys are the real MVP. And I love y'all. And I will talk to you guys soon.